What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we're going to be looking at one particular trade that someone did on Riot. This is not what's going on in the different parts of the world. This is actually to do with blockchain technology and security, and they actually do some mining as well, and then they do some administrative stuff around anyone that is securely using some blockchain way of their particular format and helping them kind of get things up and running. That being said, we have this user here at Labitit, yeah, whatever that is. Basically, I don't know what his purpose again was. He bought again 69 contracts, no pun intended, nearly almost 175% in total return of $4,436, buying these really cheap calls that were, again, he bought these are leaps. He bought way out in 2022 with, again, 69 contracts. They were bottom on average cost at 36 cents or $36, and now they're trading well over $100, making a nice little chunk of change. Again, I don't know the reasoning behind this. If people were just like, oh, there's riots going on, I need to buy Riot stock, thinking that was something to do with Riot gear or anything to do with personal protection stuff. I don't know. It's very strange that you see this stock taking off the last 2 or 3 days, even though we'll jump to the charts and we'll look at on how it's kind of been lackluster. And next one that we're currently actually looking at too is Axon, or Axon, sorry. Axon is the oil company, my bad. So this is another product I think people were thinking they were buying into. This is actually the guys who create the Taser safety weapon, and they actually more or less have the different products with the cameras, the body cams that you see a lot of the police officers wear. So this is a stock that a lot of people traded back in the day when it was under the Taser ticker, and now it's under the AAXN or something, I believe is a ticker symbol. Looking at this software, or this software / products, are actually slowly potentially building a short position in this, because it has jumped quite substantially the last 2 days, from Monday into Tuesday, on a potential FOMO premise on a lot of people just getting too hyped on it, fear of missing out, just trying to get on the tail end of this, and potentially could come crashing down. So let's go ahead and pull up the chart. So let's go look at Riot first. Again, Riot blockchain, ticker RIOT. Again, this is a lot to do with the if you remember this way back in the day, meaning like 2018, this thing was all over the news. It had a huge pop off, basically going from $3 or $4 to $46 in a matter of a couple months. Again, this is literally the peak in the overall blockchain and Bitcoin stuff, having reached the very tippy top of 2018, and then kind of come crashing down into so forth into 18, and comes crashing down more and more, then kind of settling off the last year and a half to 18 months. Basically nothing to really report, having a couple trying to break above 5 here. Currently it's still kind of breaking above the 21 here on the weekly chart, looking some ongoing strength. Could we get another potential pop off? I don't know. Like it's a very strange time, even though with Bitcoin not trading that high, still being under 10,000. It's kind of seeing, again, we're talking about that 20,000 that we had back in the day, and now at 9,000, and we go back to Riot for this overall breakdown that it had, on the sense of the high flyer being able to just capture so much of the market. But again, when we talk about this a lot, this is definitely a FOMO of there's just so much volume getting into this, and it just kind of tickles down and so forth. And the individual that we just talked about who bought those call options for 2020, I think he said it was January 2020, yeah. He bought, I think it was a 5, yeah. There's a lot of open interest out there for sure. Like Could it hit $5? Sure, it can hit $10. Who knows? Like, I don't have a crystal ball. But that being said, it's the possibility. There has to be an overall switch in the market again, and the momentum has to be falling back into Bitcoin. And I think the overall leader needs to be Bitcoin itself, needs to get above 10 or 12 or 13,000 to kind of get that potential interest and momentum going for a lot of these blockchain companies. So looking at this, I think the guy's extremely lucky. I don't know. It has been taking off ever since its last little earnings here, actually. So that was basically the first week of May. It's kind of been riding the 5 and 8 exponential moving average quite some time. Looking for a potential support, basically, let's call it at $2 here. We're going to put that marker there. And then we can do a quick fib here. That's a Fibonacci retracement. So what we do is a swing high to swing low. And it looks like it hit that 127 nearly. So that's going to be around $3. So actually we're going to put that alert there. And potential first level support, which could be on the very short term. I'm going to call it around 230, but it could be 245 as well. So let's just break it right in the middle at the 50% retracement, which would be at $2.35. I like to have that a little bit more better understanding. That being said, it's again still up 10% today. It's a very cheap stock, $2. It's not my cup of tea. It is breaking its overall downward trend that it has had the last year or so, kind of breaking above the 200 exponential moving average, with a lot of the moving averages starting to curl up. So we need the 34 and the 50 to also kind of break above the 200 to kind of keep this momentum going. So interesting stock. If you're in it, I would definitely be thinking about taking some profit. If you haven't, you probably need to wait for a pullback, something more substantial. I normally don't like to buy something up nearly 10%, even though it's down from 20%, but it's still pretty beaten up. Then it's AAXN. This is the Axon technology company that does the tasers and the body cams for police workers. And this has been a crazy day for sure. So it actually came onto my radar on our Sunday stock chat that we talked about. This could be a potential high flyer. That being said, that was on Sunday. Again, the market's closed on a Sunday, but looking at a potential move of the last 2 days of 30%, that seems a pretty FOMO-ish to me on a company that just sells tasers and body cams, or GoPro mounted body cams. That it seems like there's going to be a little bit of froth here and a potential further downside. I wanted to see a little bit more volume today, but we had a lot of volume on Monday, more than the previous earnings that we had here. Kind of just kick this out just a little bit further here. We're going to go kick this to a daily chart here. You can see here that the amount of volume coming into this was quite substantial, nearly 7 to 8 times larger than the average daily volume. So that kind of just right there checks the box for the overall way overdone volume into the stock, meaning it could be a potential FOMO play. Again, FOMO is the fear of missing out. People are just trying to run to get that quick profit, and once a lot of volume and aka dumb money gets in there, it could kind of wash a lot of the stock up, in the sense of potentially getting some violent moves up and down. And if the dumb money doesn't get their returns in 12 hours or a week, they dump it, and that could be a sign that could be coming back down at a lower price. So I have it kind of on a short, very short string here. We're looking at if it can break above the 98.50 level. Looking for first downside potential at 90. Would potentially like to see this coming back down to 81 potentially. This would be a quite drastic move for sure, but this with the underlining of a FOMO trade is very, very, I won't say likely, it's just a possibility of this happening. Going here to the standard deviation, let's go to the weekly side, since this move was pretty substantial. On the weekly side, again, it's only Tuesday, and we're double the average weekly volume. And it has triggered here at the second deviation. It hasn't, actually, we can put this on the daily. It has punctured through the 3 deviation on the daily chart. Potentially, this could ride up on the third deviation to past 100. That could be a thing, but I think even though with earnings, it kind of rode up then back down, there could be some underlying other issues here that I think this has kind of been frothy, and we can continue trading sideways potentially, and then potentially start heading down, because this has been too much of a jump for this particular stock on this analysis. And you can see most of the jumps come in via around earnings. That last earnings in October, beginning of November, really took the stock higher and breaking well through the standard deviation of 3 and this riding it up until kind of trading sideways to kind of let these moving averages catch up. Again, that could happen here as well, but I think these circumstances are slightly different. There is substantially more than just single day volume. There's pretty high, about 50%, 40% already today of volume that we had the previous day. Again, we want to see it until it closes. But that being said, I think this volume is going to be very frothy and very ill-advised in the sense of what could happen. So potentially, we're going to be selling some calls around 195, depending on how the day goes, and we'll just go from there. Again, guys, today we actually do have a very awesome live stream. So we're going to be looking at Zoom communication. That's going to be reporting earnings today. We're going to be just joining in around 350, talking some stock, looking at potential what could happen here. Currently not in the stock, most likely not going to be trading it due to the fact of just the huge question mark behind it. Again, that being said, it's going to be today at 3:50 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be going for until the earnings comes out, kind of analyze it, and then look at potentially what could happen. And more or less, it's going to be a pretty kind of crazy surprise. So bring your favorite snack. I'm going to bring my mineral water and maybe like a granola bar. So, I'll be ready to trade some stocks and talk. And we can also talk about other various tickers that people want to discuss. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. We also have an awesome Discord in the description, and then also a Patreon if you're interested in helping support the channel. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.